might not be able to tell by my mask, but I'm definitely smiling at you guys right now, especially since I'm de-stressed and better than ever. Hello FFU fam, I'm Carrie Ingram, the marketing coordinator at FFU, and I'm bringing you another tip video. I haven't done one of these in quite a while, so thank you for your patience. I thought this was super important to bring around this time just because it is middle of fall, well, early to middle of fall now, which means that there's a lot going on in life, in work, in schooling, and I know that it can be hectic. De-stressing is super important. So if you'd like to know my 7 top tips on how you should be able to de-stress as an entrepreneur, then just keep on watching. But first, make sure that you subscribe to FFU's YouTube channels. That way you don't miss on any future content from us. And follow us on our social media. We're on Instagram, Twitter. We have our own podcast now available on Apple, which we're really excited about. And with all that being said, I'm gonna get right into this video. And yes, I'm keeping the mask on, BT dubs. We have our own cool co-working space in Remington, and masking is required. So I have to follow the rules here while I film. Alright guys, my first tip to de-stressing is to take a break. And I know that sounds simple, but it's kind of hard to do when you have a really jam-packed schedule and you feel like everything has to be done. I once heard from a boss that unless your job is something in which you're directly saving someone's life at that moment in time, you need to allow yourself to take more breaks. Obviously, you take breaks in those jobs as well, but anything else that you're doing is not as big of a deal as you might be making it out to be. And there is some truth to that. So make sure to allow yourself to take breaks, to wind down, and to also do things that kind of stimulate you in other ways than just always being productive. Hobbies are a great way to do this. Find things that just bring you joy. Make sure to spend time with family and friends, which I'll get to because it's one of my other tips. Play Scrabble, I don't know, watch Netflix. Unapologetically. It's important because you don't live to work your entire life, okay? You're living one life, so enjoy it. My next tip is to remember to breathe, and this is also something that you'll probably like, Carrie, I do this every day, that's not living, but hear me out. I think sometimes we can get so overwhelmed that we just really need to stop and take a deep breath, and that really does help me sometimes to just reset my mindset and realize again that not everything on my to-do list is a priority. And some entrepreneurs really get a kick out of meditation. It's something that might not be for everyone, but I do recommend trying it out to see if it's something that might work for you. It just helps you to, again, recalibrate your mindset, your body, your focus, and really be fully present for all of your duties that you have instead of constantly being overwhelmed. Tip number 3 is to find a form of self-expression, and this can be in a variety of ways. For me, I really like the beauty and fashion industry, so these are forms of self-expression, but I also still kind of look towards other forms of self-expression in order to really release any toxic energy and really get my thoughts in order. So a lot of the times I recommend journaling. There's some self-guided journals that you can get online, but you can also just write down like positive things you want to do and try and implement throughout your day in the morning, or the positive things that have happened in the night to kind of reflect on your day. You can also just write out your entire day, almost like a diary type of entry, and that will just allow you to, again, wind down a little bit, de-stress, put your moods, your feelings, and emotions on a piece of paper. And if journaling isn't for you, have no worries. You can also just talk it out, whether that be with a family, close friend, or with a therapist. I know that mental health discussions are things that are being more open nowadays, and that's really exciting because it's something that everyone should talk about. But therapy is not something that you should be ashamed of or afraid of, because it's really great, and a lot of people go to therapy not because they have some big issue to resolve, but just for self-maintenance and growth. And that's something that all entrepreneurs should be ecstatic about. So I recommend trying out journaling or therapy to make sure you have all of your emotions and thoughts in order. Tip number 4 is probably one of the more difficult things to do if you're like me, but also something that's super important to entrepreneurship, and it is learning how to delegate tasks. You cannot do everything. I'm sorry to break it to you, but you cannot do everything. So be sure to figure out what tasks work best when you're doing them and what tasks you can delegate to your team members, not to overwhelm them, but also to not overwhelm you. That's the whole point of having a team. Next tip is to be healthy. I know this is standard, but it's very true. I find that I focus and work a lot better on my prioritized tasks when I have exercised in the morning, when I'm fully hydrated, when I'm eating a balanced meal. So make sure to take care of yourself first, because again, your business cannot exist if you don't. So make sure you're taking care of yourself to be fully present without being overwhelmed during your job. Second to last tip is to focus on the right thing. Sometimes, again, we get so caught up in these little to-do lists that we have, or large to-do lists, that it can feel overwhelming very easily because you have so many tasks that you need to prioritize, when that's not the case. You need to make sure that you get your top 3 things done out of every day and limit yourself to that number. That way, if something doesn't get done, you can become more comfortable with saying, it's okay, it will get done soon, but it's okay if it's not done right now. We're just chilling, we're just vibing. And doing this will allow yourself to also cope better when things go not as planned. When there's any minor crises, large crises in your business, any things that happen when you're trying to run an event, when the world shuts down, you know, there's a lot of things in life that are gonna happen that are unexpected and that we might not necessarily prepare for. So the more that you can calm yourself and de-stress in regular day-to-day activities, the better equipped you will be to handle these situations when they show up. My last tip is something that I think is super important for entrepreneurs, and it is to be social for the sake of being social. I can't tell you how many entrepreneurs I meet, and they are really great at being sociable. They're really, you know, talkative, but not too much. They're great at that, but they are always seeking networking opportunities. And although that's smart, and you should always kind of keep in the back of your head who your resources could be and who new people that you meet, how they can incorporate into your business, your life, that's not all that life is about, okay? And you need to take a break from that networking mindset when you're socializing in order to live your life again. So make sure to make social plans outside of work, outside of the idea of networking, outside of the idea of how can these people contribute to me in some way, and just be a human being. Go bowling, do something that's safe and fun with a group of people that you enjoy and that you just really want to hang out with for the sake of hanging out. It's really easy, I found, if you're someone who's really work-minded and you're all about your to-do list, it's a lot easier to let go and to allow yourself to de-stress and relax and have fun when you do it with others, because then you don't feel as guilty. So definitely recommend trying that out. Minus the networking. No business cards are allowed, okay? But yeah, that completes my list of 7 tips that I have for how you can de-stress as an entrepreneur. Obviously, take these things as you will, and you can pick and choose which ones might work for you. But it's really important, again, to just make sure that you're taking care of yourself and that you don't stress yourself out too much or stretch yourself too thin. You need to be the best you can be for yourself and for your business. So I hope this helped. Again, make sure to subscribe if you guys want more tips, insights into entrepreneurship, etc. from us at Fast Forward You. And again, down below, I'll have links to all of our other socials. That way you can stay tuned with us online. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.